ours, even the girls, and talked dirty and hit little kids, and cussed their teachers, and took the name of the Lord in vain, and set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old broken-down tool shed.
And that's not all. Somebody sent 5 dozen darns to the firemen, and the herdmen ate them all. And what they didn't eat, they stuffed in their pockets and down the fronts of their shirts.
And there are this really, really dirty word in the back of Naomi and Alex's favorite turtle. So she can't take it away in pet shop with mother-in-law letter.
What was the word? Oh!
And that's not all. They did it with fluorescent paint, so when you can't see the turtle, you can still see the word.
And they put a whole bunch of tadpoles in the school drinking fountain, and Miss Barnes swallowed 2 or 3 by mistake. Somebody yelled, "Mildred, stop! You're drinking tadpoles!" But it was too late.
Did you get sick?
Not right away. And that's not all.
Did you hear they did to the teachers? Coffee?
No.
They put Pepto-Bismol in it.
And they thought he had the flu.
And that's not all. Now I'm going to tell you about the Christmas pageant and what they did to that. There were 6 of them. Ralph, Imogene, Leroy, Claude, Ollie, and Gladys. And they went through the Woodrow Wilson School like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. And they went around town the same way, stealing things and tearing things up and whamming kids. So it was hard to get away from that. There was only one safe place.
Because there are no herdmen there, but Jesus loves us as they sing, because he keeps them miles away.
That's my little brother, Charlie. And that's what he said when the Sunday school teacher asked what was his favorite thing about church. Charlie said no herdmans. And that made the teacher mad, because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus and good feelings. But old Charlie told the real truth. No herdmans.
I don't care what everybody else said. That's what they really thought. All that other stuff is okay, but the main good thing about church is that the herdmen aren't there, ever.
That's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
Well, it's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is he the worst one, Leroy?
They're all the worst one.
Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets
That doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast, and she's mean, and she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from them. Go to church.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Well, tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Of course you do. Everyone's in the pageant. Why, think how I'd feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own kids weren't in the pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually, I hadn't planned to go this year. You know how crowded it always is. They can use my seat. They're going to be showing the highlights of the Bears win this week, and then they're going to be having a rerun of the Notre Dame-Michigan game. There's never anything different about the Christmas pageant. I'm going to just wear my bathrobe and stay home.
Well, there's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your bathrobe.
Just not that.
Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay $1 to be Joseph. Elmer's sick of being Joseph all the time, just because his father's the minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph.
And nobody wants to be in it.
What are you going to be this year?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
From what I've heard in the past, that's not a major drawback. The way in an angel always sounds like a closet full of mice to me.
What do you wear in the angel choir?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, some choice, a bathrobe or a bedsheet. Come on, let's go watch TV.
Mrs. Armstrong just likes to make a lovely experience for everyone.
Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
Well, they're right, you know. She's in charge of the pageant and she's in charge of the potluck. I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon if anyone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
Well, maybe she's going to try and run the hospital, because that's where she is. I saw George at the drugstore, and his wife broke her leg. She's going to be in traction for 2 weeks and laid up until the first of the year.
The first of the year?
Yep.
Oh, they'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas.
Well, She's in charge of that pageant, and she's in charge of the potluck, not to mention the bazaar. I feel sorry for Helen, but who on earth is going to do all those things?
Yes, I'll take over the bazaar, and but you'll have to take the potluck supper. I don't know what in the world we'll do about the pageant, unless. How about Grace?
I just can't, Edna. I've got company all Christmas week. What about Grace?
Yes, how about Grace?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Grace.
Hello?
Oh, no, I don't think, no, Bob,
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't exactly what you call four-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to it. It's always the same old Christmas story and the same old Christmas carols and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother was stuck with. Well, that and Mrs. Armstrong.
Tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them, we must choose our Mary very carefully because Mary was the mother of Jesus, you know.
I know that.
Yes. And then I tell them about Joseph, how important Joseph was, that he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. That's how I explain that. Frankly, I don't spend too much time on Joseph because he's always Elmer Hopkins, and Elmer knows all about Mary and Joseph.
I thought Mrs. Armstrong was in traction. How can she talk on the phone if she's in traction?
What do you think traction is?
Like, when they put you to sleep?
No such luck. Yeah, it's salt and pepper.
And I tell them about the wise men and the shepherds, and I tell them how important they are. I tell them there are no small parts, only small actors. Remind the aged choir not to stare into the audience and don't let them wear
Save some for the rest of
that.
us, won't you, Charlie?
I'm hungry. Leroy Herdman stole my lunch again.
How can you let him do that to you day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
Oh, it's in the oven.
I'll get it.
You'll have to get somebody to push the baby angels on, otherwise they get tangled up into each other and they bend their little baby wings. Bob could do that, and he could keep an eye on the shepherds too. And Grace, I hope you don't get stuck with too many baby angels because what those children want to do is wear lipstick. Don't let those children wear lipstick. They're so
Excuse me,
teeny
Helen,
and
somebody's at the door. Just hold on here.
Just coming.
Hey, lady, can you spare some supper? I haven't had a square meal in 3 days.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, it's you.
Well, I was getting lonely at the table.
Well, Helen Armstrong was getting lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the phones are working.
I bet she told you about no small parts, only small actors.
She's getting someone to shove the baby angels on and to make the shepherds shut up.
Well, as a matter of fact, she recommended your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
And Grace, don't use just any baby for the baby Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better yet, get two. That way, if one gets fussy, you can always switch them.
Remember Christmas Eve, was born on Christmas Day, to sing the song from Satan's proud when he burst on his string. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said Mrs. Armstrong was stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think up problems. And there weren't going to be any problems. Of course, Mother didn't count on the Herdmans. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Leroy, you give me back my lunch.
Sure, kid. Here.
You stole my dessert again.
How do you know?
Because it isn't here.
What was it?
2 Twinkies.
That's right. That's what it was.
Hey, Leroy. You think it's so great to steal my dessert every day? steal my dessert. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want in Sunday school.
Oh yeah? What kind of dessert?
All kinds. Chocolate cake, candy bars, and cookies, and Twinkies, and big wheels. We get refreshments all the time. All we want.
You're a liar.
And ice cream, and donuts, and cupcakes.
Who gives it to you?
The minister.
Why? Is he crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
Sunday school, huh?
That was the wrong thing to tell the herdmans. And sure enough, the very next Sunday, there they were in Sunday school, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant?
It's a play.
Like on TV? Well, what's it about?
It's about Jesus.
Everything here is.
And it's about Mary. Mostly, it's about Mary.
And who is Mary?
I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part.
Yes, Charlie, you have to come and be in the pageant. And David, you too. Just settle down, please. Find yourself a place to sit, girls. Today we'll be deciding who will play the main roles in our Christmas pageant. But of course, everyone will have an important part to play. You know what Mrs. Armstrong always says, there are no small parts, only small actors. Well, isn't that what she always says?
That's what she always says, but she never says what it means.
Don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means that the short kids have to be in the front row of the choir, or else nobody can see them.
No, it really means that the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary.
Well, naturally, that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is more important.
I still think it means the short kids have to be in the front row.
Girls, everyone's important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, do you think everyone's here? Beverly, could you just step out and see if anyone else is coming here? Okay. You little children will be our baby angels. Now, I just have a few of these. So tell your mothers that you'll need bed sheets. And people in the angel choir will need some bed sheets too. And if any of you have any old bathrobes, well now what is the matter? Make some room for the curtains. Now, where's Beverly?
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
She just left. All I did was I just said, "Hi, Beverly," and she just left.
I see. Well, would someone please tell Beverly about rehearsals the next 4 Wednesdays after school? Plan to be here for every one of them.
What if we get sick?
Well, you won't get sick, Elmer. But of course, now, Mary and Joseph must absolutely be here for every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
Oh, honey, they won't get sick.
Well, Beverly got sick, and we didn't even start yet.
Well, we don't know Beverly got sick. I would like you to think about Mary. Now, we all know what kind of person Mary was. She was quiet and gentle and kind. And the girl who plays Mary should try to be that kind of a person. Do I have any volunteers? Did you have a question, Imogene?
No, I want to be Mary. And Ralph over there, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, well, how about if I make a list and then we'll all decide who they should be? Ralph Herdman. Okay, who else would like to be Joseph? Raise your hand, Elmer.
No.
Well, just raise your hand. Any of you shepherds back there? Well, very well then, Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. Now, Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. Who else could I add to this list? Janet? Roberta? Alice? Don't you want to be Mary?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be Mary.
Oh, shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
Well, wise men are usually boys. Oh, they don't have to be.
I'll be a wise man. Me too. Claude, you want to be a wise man? Raise your hand. I don't know. What is a wise man?
Shut up and raise your hand.
What's left to be?
Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
Oh, it's the angel of the Lord who brings the good news to the shepherds. There, see, I do have some volunteers. Hobie, did you want to be a wise man?
No, I just want to say I can't be a shepherd or a wise man.
And why not?
We're going to Philadelphia.
Why didn't you say so before?
I just remember my mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
And why not?
I don't know. He just said, don't be a shepherd.
I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. No shepherds may quit or get sick.
I'm not going to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
Gladys isn't going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord just comes to the shepherd and brings them the good news.
And hits them.
Oh, Elmer, don't be ridiculous. That's all for today now, boys and girls. You may go. But I expect to see you here next Wednesday after school. And no excuses, Elmer. You don't know, Alice? I expect. I expected you to volunteer. Don't you want to be Mary?
Oh, come on, Alice. I don't know.
I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogen would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be Mary in this play, and if you open your mouth or raise your hand, you'll wish you didn't. And I said, but I'm always Mary in the Christmas pageant. And she said, go ahead then, and next spring when the pussy willows come out, I'll stick a pussy willow so far down your ear that nobody can hear. And it'll sprout there, and grow, and you'll spend the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear.
You know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. Herdmans will do anything. You just watch. They'll do something terrible and ruin the whole pageant. And it's all your mother's fault.
Jane, Edna McCarthy, did you hear about the... Oh, well, it must have been Grace's fault somehow. How else could all 6 of them end up in the Christmas pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Vera, Irma Slocum, I just heard that Imogene Herdman is going to be married in the Christmas pageant, and is that a fact? All 6 of them? Vera, I live next door to that outfit, and I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herdman? What kind of a child is that to play Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I'm a shut-in and he wasn't visiting me.
I said, why not let them hand out programs at the door? Grace said we've never had programs with the pageant. But I said,
Better nail down the church and lock up the silver service and hide the collection plates before they clean them out.
What was the matter with Grace? Couldn't she have sent them home? Told them to go away? Oh, I feel so responsible. If I had been up and around, this never would have happened.
Oh, if I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Well, don't tell me. I'm on your side. Now, the car's over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who can run a Christmas pageant. I mean, I made up my mind to do the best job I could under the circumstances, but now I'm going to make it the best Christmas pageant ever. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands, and nobody else did, and I don't care what those ladies
Good
think.
for you, Grace. The car's over there.
And you are going to come.
Does that mean that
You have to go.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the sky. With the joy calls proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
Now the inn will be back here off stage, and then the shepherds will come
Where do
down.
the shepherds come from anyway? What's an inn?
It's like a motel where people go to stay the night.
What people? Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why? To pay their taxes.
Hotel?
Shut up, Shut up! I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning.
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Well, honey, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible?
No. Okay.
Well, I better read it to you because that's what this pageant's all about.
I don't believe that, do you? That they've never heard the Christmas story?
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is, and they've never been to church in their whole life until your dumb brother told them we got refreshments. Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
Now, there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary, his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant? She was pregnant?
We all know Mary was pregnant. And it came to pass while they were there that the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son.
I don't think it's very nice to say Mary was pregnant.
Well, she was.
I don't think your mother should say Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And she wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
My gosh, they didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, nobody knew the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Hey, didn't Joseph know? What's the matter with him that he didn't tell her? Her being pregnant and everything.
What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so they had to use something else. Now, what if you had a new baby and no bed to put them in?
Well, hey, we put Gladys in the bureau drawer.
Well, there you are. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
Oh no, we had a bed all right, only Ollie here was still in it, and he wouldn't get up because he didn't like Gladys. Remember how he didn't like Gladys?
That was pretty smart of Ollie not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
What were the wadded up clothes?
The what?
It said in there. She wrapped him in wadded up clothes.
Oh, swaddling clothes. Well, people used to take big pieces of material and wrap babies up nice and tight so they'd feel nice and snug.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Well, where's the child welfare, I'd like to know?
The child welfare's at our house every 5 minutes.
There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem.
Well, I'll say there wasn't.
There were shepherds guarding their flocks by night when, lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them and...
Shazam!
What?
At the black night, with horrible vengeance, the mighty Murbo!
Oh, honey, I don't know what you're talking about.
The mighty Murbo made amazing comments. At the black night, with horrible vengeance.
No, this is the angel of the Lord who...
Out of nowhere, right? In the black night, right?
Well, in a way...
Shazam!
from the east, bearing gifts of gold and frankincense.
What's that?
And myrrh.
What's that?
Well, they were special things like precious oils and spices.
Oil? What kind of a present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they the welfare? The wise men?
Well, they were kings and they were
Oh,
sick.
well, it's about time somebody important showed up. If they're kings, they can get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
They were sent by Herod. Well, he was the main king and he wanted to find Jesus and have him put to death.
My gosh, he just got born. They're gonna kill a baby?
All right, who's Herod in this play?
Whoa, Herod isn't in this play.
He's out to kill the baby? And he isn't even in the play?
Somebody better be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod. And he says, go get me that baby. And then I'll say okay, because he's a king and all.
But they don't do it. They expect him. Get Herod. I'm not going to be Herod.
Forget about Herod.
Joseph gets the shepherds together and they gonna wipe out Herod. No! They're gonna go in and flip to me and I'll get killed.
I'm gonna give the baby to the fight's over.
What about me?
Well, I wouldn't just hang around in the barn. I'd go get a room.
She said there wasn't any room.
I'd kick someone out. I'd tell them, I've got this baby and it's the middle of winter, so either get out or move over.
I'd go after old Herod.
I'd send that angel after him. She could just point her electric finger and turn him into a pile of ashes. Yeah, that. What's the name of this place? She never said. Christmas pageant. That's the name. That's what it is. I know a name. I'd call it Revenge at Bethlehem.
Revenge at Bethlehem. The herdmen thought the Christmas story came right out of the FBI files. At least they picked the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on and not the baby Jesus. But the baby Jesus had quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum, but Mrs. Slocum said she wasn't going to let Imogene Herdman get her hands on her. So we didn't have a baby Jesus, and that bothered my mother. She kept trying to scratch up a baby, even at the last rehearsal. What do you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
It is not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogene curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
Well, I don't care what it is. She drinks it. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. And they steal, too. If you shake the birthday bank, it doesn't make a sound because they steal all the pennies. And every time you go into the ladies' room, the whole air is blue. And Imogene Herdman is sitting there in the Mary costume smoking cigars.
And you wrote all this down, what for?
For my mother and Reverend Hopkins and the Ladies' Aid Society. And anybody else who wants to know what happened when this whole pageant turns out to be a big mess.
Now we've got a bed for baby Jesus. Now, if you could all come down here. This is our last rehearsal.
Grace! I just wanted to let you know that we're all back in the kitchen making applesauce cake. We'll try not to bother you. Well, I guess this is your dress rehearsal.
Well, it's supposed to be. Oh, Edna! Didn't I hear that your niece had a baby, a little girl, about a month ago?
Yes, she's 5 weeks old and just as cute as can be.
Do you think maybe I could call her and ask her if we could use the baby's
Oh, Grace, my goodness. Oh, no. Oh, well, I could make up some lie, tell you the baby was sick or cranky or something, but, well, the truth is she's perfectly healthy and happy and beautiful. And we want her to stay that way. So we're certainly not going to hand her over to Imogene Herdman. Sorry, Grace.
Mrs. Bradley,
Well, yes, David.
you can use my little a brother for baby Jesus?
Well, I didn't know you had a new brother, David.
He's not new. He's 4 years old. He's double jointed and you and I could scrunch him up.
Oh, honey,
I'll do this, baby.
Well, how can you do that, Imogen?
Simple. There's always 2 or 3 babies in carriages outside the supermarket. I'll just go take one of them.
Oh, Imogen, you can't just walk off with somebody's baby. We'll use a doll.
That's better. A doll can't bite you.
And Imogen, Mary didn't wear earrings.
I have to wear these. I just got my ears pierced because I can keep something in them, they'll grow together.
Well, they won't grow together in an hour and a half. What did the doctor tell you?
What doctor?
Well, who pierced your ears?
Gladys.
I bet Imogen's ears will turn black and fall off.
Well, we'll find something smaller. Is that what you're going to wear, girls? You know, you're all supposed to have your costumes on.
I can't find my halo. My wings got all bent. Janice got my robe. Miss isn't proud of me. My mother doesn't have any white sheets. Can I wear sheets with balloons on it?
Oh, honey, I don't care.
I haven't got a costume. I've never a shepherd before. You have to wear your father's bathrobe. That's what I have to do. He hasn't got a bathrobe. So what does he hang around the house in?
His boxer shorts.
Well, pretend you're all wearing costumes.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Of course we're going through the whole thing. But first we'll just practice your entrances. So go wherever you're supposed to go. And Maxine, just read those last few lines.
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Okay, then we'll have some music. And then the shepherds will come down. Don't push, just come down. Line yourselves up. Tallest in the back.
And an angel of the Lord Shazam!
What?
Out of the black night with horrible vengeance.
No! Ouch! Oh, oh. Go on, Maxine.
A multitude of the heavenly hosts.
Then some more music and the angels. Little part there. That's good. All right, find a spot and stand there. Music and wise men.
I've got the baby here. Don't touch him. I've named him Jesus.
No, hey, Imogen,
Give it back.
Mary,
Don't say anything. Nobody says anything. Just make a lovely picture for us to look at while we think about Christmas. Now, put the doll back. I don't get to say anything. Some angel tells me what to name my baby. I would have named him Bob.
What a terrible thing to say.
What angel was that? There's angels all over this place. Was that Gladys?
No, Gladys brings the good news to the shepherds.
Yeah, unto you, child is born.
Unto me, not to him. I'm the one with the baby.
Imogen, that just means that Jesus belongs to all of us. Unto all of us a child is born.
Why did they let Mary name her own baby? What did the angel do? Just walk up and say, here you go, name him Jesus. Yes!
I know what the angel said. She said his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
My gosh, you'd never get out of first grade if you had to write all that.
What did you have to say all that for?
Alice, now we're gonna be here all night. Nobody asked. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh, honey, you're all right.
What should I do? Should I start over?
Oh, no, Maxine.
get through the whole thing. The 5 minutes turned into 15 minutes. And Imogene Herdman spent the whole time smoking cigars in the ladies' room. Then, Mrs. McCarthy went to the ladies' room and saw all the smoke.
Oh! There's a fire!
And
Fire!
the fire department.
It's right down in the ladies' room. I got the water. There's
Of course, all the ladies were mad about that, and Mrs. McCarthy was mad, and my mother was mad.
Oh, why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke?
A little smoke? There was a lot of smoke. The ladies' room was full of thick smoke.
It couldn't have been. You just got excited. And now, look, there are firemen all over the church. There are baby angels climbing all over the streets, and shepherds are in the fire truck. Didn't you know that it was just a little cigar smoke?
No, I didn't know it was cigar smoke. I don't expect my cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
Oh!
Alice Swindleton's mother was mad too, and the whole Ladies' Aid Society was mad, and Reverend Hopkins said he didn't know what to think.
I have been on the phone all day and I can't make head nor tails of it. Some people say they set fire to the ladies' room. Some people say they set fire to the kitchen. Vera Wenlicken says all they do is talk about sex and underwear.
Oh, no, that was Holy Clark talking about underwear, and the only fire was when the applesauce cake burned up.
Well, the whole church is in an uproar. I don't know. Jesus has said, suffer the little children to come unto me. I don't think he meant the Herdmans. Grace, don't you think we should cancel the pageant?
Oh, I bet that was Helen McCarthy's idea.
We could blame it on the fire.
Oh,
makes a good excuse.
That was probably Edna's idea.
Everyone seems to think it's going to be...
Oh, a disaster? Well, they're wrong. It's going to be the best Christmas pageant ever.
But Grace, I don't think anyone's going to come to see it.
I didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie. But we were wrong. On Christmas Eve, the church was jammed full. Everybody came to see what the Herdmans would do.
Hey, just watch your step. I can get the lights. I know you can't see. Just a minute.
It's not so much the lights, it's this thing. What do you want to do with it?
Oh, well, I thought maybe it might look like a palm tree, but I'm not so sure anymore. You know, we've never once gone through this whole thing. The Herdmans still think it's some kind of spy story. This could be the first Christmas pageant ever where Joseph gets in a fight with the wise men and Mary runs away with the baby. Where's the kids?
All the kids in the world are downstairs putting on bed sheets.
So I mean our kids.
We're here.
Oh good, well come on in, get your costumes, it's getting late.
It's just going to be awful, you know? They look like trick or treat, all dirty and fastened together with safety pins, and wearing their moldy old sneakers. Mary and Joseph, I mean. They look like refugees or something.
Well, they were refugees in a way. Mary and Joseph were. They were a long way from home. They didn't know anybody. They didn't have any place to stay. I'm sure they were cold and tired and hungry and messy too.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they are sure messy.
Oh dear, do you think that I should go down there and check
I
on
think
them?
you worry too much. Now, I'm going to be handing out some crooks to shepherds and getting some wise men on and some angels. Do I do all this stuff?
The script. I'll give you the script. Of course, you know the story. You just follow along here and give them a gentle little push.
Okay, let's see now. Shepherds, wise men, angels. It doesn't say where the firemen come in.
They don't.
Just
Would you come in, please? I need to see how you all look before you go on. Ah, very nice. Come on down. Alice, would you take care of the baby? Oh, girls. Wonderful. Oh, your mother's worked so hard on you. Oh, come over here, Naomi. You've got to get this straight. Now keep your hand out to know it's okay. Angels, shepherds, wise men. Gladys, where's your halo?
Our cat buried it. Listen, I think I ought to say something besides the baby came. Why would they all get up and care for some baby they don't even know? I ought to tell them it's Jesus, and I ought to tell them there he is.
No. All you do is tell them, unto you a child is born, and that is all you tell them. Now, so take your places, try to be quiet while the people are coming in, and good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, actors don't say good luck. Actors say break a leg.
Oh, I knew that. Wait a minute. It is just a theatrical statement. It does not mean to break your leg or anyone else's. Oh, Imogen. Imogen, try to remember that this is a baby. And for tonight anyway, it's the baby Jesus.
there was no room for them in the inn. And in that region there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. The glory of the Lord shone round about, and they were sore afraid. When an angel of the Lord appeared to them and said, Hey, hey, unto you a child is born. It's Jesus, and he's in the barn. Go see him. Go on, go see him. Hurry up. Go. And suddenly there was a multitude of the heavenly host saying, Glory to the God in the highest, and on earth the peace among men.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
When Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east to worship him, bringing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
We bring kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar. Field and mountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, right up to thy perfect light.
They look awful too. And what's that Leroy's got?
It's a ham.
A ham? I'll bet they stole it.
No, I think it's the ham from their welfare basket.
You mean it's their own ham? Then they must hate ham.
Even if they hate ham, Alice, it's the only thing they ever gave away in their whole life. Being warned in a dream that they should not return to their own country, the wise men departed another way. The shepherds also departed, praising God for all they had seen and heard. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart.
Holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Oh, the infant so tender and light, sleep
suddenly, Blueberry's crying.
When it was over, we had a party in the basement, but the Herdmans didn't stay. They didn't have any cocoa, and they didn't walk off with all the cookies, and they wouldn't even keep their own candy canes. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la. Don we now our gayest herald, la 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 la. Roll the ancient Yuletide carol, la 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 la.
Could you believe that with Imogen Herdman? And the rest of them. You know, Irma, this was the best Christmas pageant we ever had. I'm not sure why, but I think it was because of them. Could that be? Well, I just get weepy about the pageant. I guess it's the children and carols and all, but you're right. This was the best one, and it should have been the worst. There was just something different. Well, the angel of the Lord was different. Yes, but I like that. It had lots of spirit. You know, sometimes you can't even hear the angel of the Lord. I need to go find Grace and tell her. I just wish I'd let her have Eugene to play the baby Jesus. Who was the baby Jesus? It was a doll. Oh, I don't think so, Irma. That was no doll. Well, it did seem real.
Oh, thank you so much. Grace, could I talk to you just for a moment? I just wanted to tell you how much I enjoyed this play and how wonderfully adequate your directing was this year. And I hope that next year when I direct the pageant, you can assist me. You can push the little baby angels on and maybe monitor their lipstick a little bit. That would be so nice. You know, my husband George is bringing the car around, so I can't stay. And I thought it was just so strangely effective, that Imogen Herdman. And George, why is that floozy Herdman woman getting into the car with you? George!
It did seem real, as if it might have happened just that way. We all thought the pageant was about Jesus, but that was only part of it. It was about a new baby and his mother and father who were in a whole lot of trouble. No money, no place to go, no doctor, nobody they knew. And then, arriving from the east, like my uncle from New Jersey, some rich friends. Because of the Herdmans, it was a whole new story. Imogen birthing the baby, and the wise men bringing such a sensible present. After all, we can't eat frankincense. And even Gladys, he's in the barn, go see him, so that the shepherds didn't have to stumble all over the countryside. But I guess it wasn't like that for Imogen. For her, it was all wonder and mystery, as if she had just caught on to what Christmas was all about.
Well, I guess that's about it. Are there any kids left downstairs?
Nope, everyone's gone home. You know, you're wearing your bathrobe. You're not going to wear that home, are you?
Well, why not? Maybe someone would think I was a shepherd. I wouldn't mind being taken for a shepherd in this Christmas pageant.
Yes, you would. When it was over, some lady, she came up and hugged me because I was the shepherd. Should I bring this ham?
No, that's the Herdman's ham. It was in their welfare basket, you know. Leroy wouldn't take it back. He said, you don't take back a present.
Leroy said that? You must hate ham.
You and Alice Wendell can.
What about the lights?
Well, they're on a timer and they go off at midnight.
It's almost that time. It's almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas, kids.
Almost Christmas, Charlie.
let's go home.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
kids.
Christmas, kids.
Merry Christmas.
Come on, pass! Pass it! I'm taking my slides on!
Guys, chill out before I slap you.
I'll slap you. Who's Gladys?